We have an honor to talk today with distinguished economist, Professor Erika Reinert. He is well known for a book, How Rich Countries Got Rich and Why Poor Countries Stay Poor. That was translated into 20 languages. So what are the main ideas of your book, and how can you briefly describe them?
Well, the main idea and where it differs from standard economic theory is that economic development, as I see it, is activity specific. It's tied to a certain type of economic activities, and that has been understood for a long time. And this is also the essence of classical development economics from the 1940s to the 1960s. That manufacturing is the basis for economic growth, and in agriculture and in mining, you have the opposite phenomenon. The more you specialize, the lower will be the productivity, and because of this, we can see that the deindustrialization that has taken place in many of the former Soviet republics has been very detrimental to the development of wealth, and Ukraine is an example.
You have met a lot of young people from all of these Eastern Partnership countries. What can you recommend us for the future? What should we do?
Well, I have a lot of faith in the next generation. Also in the United States, you see people who are getting out of the ideology. I think you have the opportunity to learn from history, and seemingly you're in a situation where your parents said, well, we want the opposite of communism, but the opposite of communism is not neoliberalism. The opposite of communism was Western capitalism, which also was based on manufacturing industry. So I think you can learn more from history and less from mathematics, less from mathematical economics, and you can go back in history. I've done this over the last 40 years or so, and you find that absolutely no country on the planet has ever got rich without, for a while, protecting its manufacturing industry. Even the great English liberalist John Stuart Mill, he agreed that nations needed infant industry protection. Just like you don't send your children out on the labor market when they're 7 years old. You give them some infant protection until they can compete on the labor market, and the same thing applies to a country. And I think we have to go back to this. So look at history and look at ideas, and also look at unintended consequences, because history is full of unintended consequences, and one unintended consequence of what Mr. Trump is doing may actually be that former Soviet republics wake up and see that, hey, this doesn't work in the United States, this doesn't work in England with Brexit, so why should it work here? And then you can get out of, especially I think it's get out of the ideological fight between state and market. That wasn't the important thing. The important thing was the economic structure, now not how we got organized. This is not an argument for communism, but it's an argument again for changing your economic structure. And Ukraine should not export wheat to Italy and then buy that wheat back at a price which is 10 times higher in the form of spaghetti, right? Make your own spaghetti. Don't send it to Italy and have the Italians make a lot of money on spaghetti you eat. This is a simple example, but there are also many more sophisticated ones.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the chance to hear your voice, hear your ideas, and I think that it will be very useful for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck to Ukraine. I think you have an educated population. You just have to make sure that educated population gets a job here. So that the saddest thing is when when the main export item of a country becomes bright young people. That's what we want to avoid.